The world's top athletes are about to compete in the Winter Olympics right here on TV6. But our own Mike Bedard thought, hey, I can do that.
How hard could speed skating be?
And in fact, starting Monday, Mike will take on a variety of Olympic sports just to see what it's like. Mike Bedard wants to know, how tough can this be? On your News Tonight.
Good evening, everyone. The opening ceremonies for the Winter Olympic Games are just 5 days away. With that in mind, TV6's Mike Bedard decided to give 5 Olympic sports a try this week in a series we're calling How Tough Can It Be? Today, Mike goes Olympic curling.
So back during the 2006 Winter Olympic Games in Torino, Italy, started watching curling for the first time and really enjoyed the sport. So I figured, why not give it a try? So we came up here to the drill house in Calumet, the only naturally refrigerated curling shed in America. Let's see what happens.
Okay. I was supposed to sit out game 1 and watch how it's done, but that all changed on the coin toss.
Well, I'll defer because I won the toss if you take Bedard.
Bedard. What? I take him?
So after swapping the last throw for the rookie, I was throwing the first stone for the yellow team. And I definitely didn't impress any of my new teammates.
Scale of 1 to 10, how's Mike doing?
Let's see, 1 to 10. Which is high and which is low? Is 1 good?
1 is good.
10.
That Bedard? Absolutely awful.
Perfect.
So after that embarrassment, I stepped back, did some sweeping, learned all I could from veteran players.
Oh, absolutely.
Try that again. Before getting back on that stone, making some noticeable progress.
So guys, Gordon doesn't want me on his team, but I love this sport now. I need to be on the team. Anybody, any takers? Anybody? Come on.
At the drill house, Mike Bedard, TV6 Sports, Calumet.
Yeah?
Now, if anyone is interested in the sport of curling, Good evening, everyone. By his count, TV6's Mike Bedard has played ice hockey for about 20 years, either as a defenseman or forward, but not once as a goaltender. In part 2 of our series, How Hard Can It Be?, Mike straps on the leather pads and joins the Marquette Rangers for an afternoon practice.
After skating over 2 decades as a forward, I shifted gears and put on the pads and a jersey of a real live goaltender for the first time ever on the ice. I would be facing live fire from one of the country's finest junior organizations, the Marquette Rangers. First up, former Hancock High School standout Tanner Caro. He had the moves, but I had the puck. Next, Marquette native Wolf Bellinger. His moves were just too good, but I must have made an impression.
Okay, you challenged Mr. Bedard. What did you think? He got any potential?
He's got a lot of potential. We'll see how he does. Hopefully he does good.
Funny, because on the very next shooter, I showed off that potential. Stony Marquette's Colin St. Ange with the glove, and turning heads in the process.
How's my positioning and glove hand and everything like that?
Your glove's hot. Your angle's off, but your glove's hot.
All right, Colin, just talk for a quick second how you couldn't beat my glove hand there.
It was just too quick for me, you know.
The deke didn't even work either. You missed the net.
I know. I don't know what to tell you.
After proving myself, I joined in regular practice, where I fell out of my element, decided to call it a day. In Lakeview Arena, Mike Bedard, TV6 Sports, Marquette.
And tomorrow, Mike tries his hand and feet at alpine skiing. Good evening, everyone. It may be hard to believe since he's lived in the North his whole life, but TV6's Mike Bedard has never been on a pair of skis until now. Today, in part 3 of our series, How Tough Can It Be?, Mike heads to Marquette Mountain in hopes of learning to be an alpine ski racer.
Despite being a first-time skier, I seem to have the equipment down pat. I grabbed my poles and skis and headed to the Bunny Hill, which presented its own set of problems. After finally figuring out the mechanism known as the tow rope, we got to the top. where direction seemed to become an issue right away, followed by, of course, the complication better known as gravity. After a while, I got better, more confident, and it seemed I was ready for the big time. So after skiing on the bunny hill for about an hour, we decided I'm ready for the big hill, and I'm going to be taking on Aaron Gerzlak, who's 7 years old, and he's won every race he's been in so far, which includes 11-year-olds and adults. So I got my hands full. Let's see how I do. Well, we're going to be racing down the hill here in a few minutes. You got to be pretty scared of me.
Not really.
Out of the gate, we were neck and neck, but in a matter of seconds, Aaron was down the hill and across the finish line, leaving me in the dust about a third of the way back up the hill.
Mike seems to be handling the exchange well.
Finally, I crept across the finish line in a blistering time of 1 minute 21 seconds, a full 60 seconds behind young Aaron. Whew, enough of that one. Oh, we gotta go. At Marquette Mountain, Mike Bedard, TV6 Sports, Marquette.
Thank goodness for all those hockey skills he has. He could at least learn to ski in a moment's notice, but keeping up with the young kids, that is hard to do. Tomorrow he will try short track speed skating.
This week on your TV6 News Tonight, Mike Bedard is taking on the Olympics. Or maybe the Olympics are taking him down.
Yeah! How hard can it be, baby?
You'll see Mike in a bunch of Olympic sports that he has no idea how to do. But he'll go from novice to, well, novice. The latest in the series tonight. How tough can it be on your News Tonight?
News. Now let's continue with part number 4. We mentioned earlier in the week how experienced TV6's Mike Bedard is at ice skating, 20 years or so according to him, so we thought, how would he be able to handle a race against a USOAC speed skater? In part 4 of our series, How Tough Can It Be? Mike shows you just that.
So after covering the U.S. Olympic speed skating trials and the ISU World Cup event here at the Barrie Event Center in Marquette, I said to myself, how hard could speed skating actually be? Well, today, I get to race one from the USOAC and get to find out.
My opponent would be Barry Winslow from Midland, Michigan, a young up-and-comer in his 4th year with the Olympic education program at Northern.
You got 2 different colors.
For safety reasons, I relied on my trusty Bauer hockey skates, and after a few words of advice from speed skating coaches, I was ready to roll.
Maybe you can make a little bit defensive track, maybe tighter track to keep them from passing you or make them pass you on the outside.
What if I just clothesline them?
You could do that too, just make sure the refs aren't looking.
Off the line, I was as quick as a cat. It didn't take long for Winslow to catch up and pass me. And to add injury to insult, he went ahead and lapped me. And at the end, I was beaten, exhausted, and humiliated.
How do you feel about dashing my Olympic dreams?
I never like to hurt people's feelings, but I guess the easiest way to say is, you know, you got a lot of work to do. I guess that's the only way to go about that.
At the Barrie Event Center, Mike Bedard, TV6 Sports, Marquette.
And if you thought that was good, you're gonna just love part 5 as we wrap up our series tomorrow on your TV6 News Tonight, not to mention Friday Night Fever. Yes, ski jumping with Mike Bedard. I'll give you a hint. You've been looking at his chin lately and some of the other pieces you may get an idea. It's time, the part you've been waiting for. How tough can it be? We've saved the best for last. TV6's Mike Bedard heads out to Suicide Bowl in Ishpeming and attempts ski jumping with members of the Ishpeming Ski Club.
The first thing the kids at Ishpeming Ski Club do before jumping is warm up. They start with plyometric hurdles. Then it's onto the ramp, where they practice jumping technique. After a few pointers from coach,
every jump you have to do a little stronger and a little aggressive, okay?
It's onto the suits, where I'm told the more colorful, the better. From there, it's onto the hill, where we climb the stairs to the top of the 10-meter ramp. It's where I got my first taste of ski jumping. And it doesn't take an Olympic champion to know it didn't go all that well.
If your jumpers fall on the face, it's a good sign because you have to be aggressive. So, and you try to be aggressive, you try to fly, so it's good.
Despite my shattered confidence, Coach Ola got me back up that hill and ready for a second run. And this time I stuck the landing. Still, there were very few in the crowd that were impressed.
Hey George, how do you think I did today?
Pretty good except the landing and sort of bad.
What do you think of the suit? The suit's pretty cool, huh?
That was my sister's old one.
At Suicide Hill, Mike Bedard, TV6 Sports.
I'd like to report that Mike has not checked into any local hospitals during the taping of this series. He is, at the moment, alert and fine. Greg, that's all from down here. We'll send it back to you.
And he is healing up. All right, thanks, Mike.